Study topic is can economic policy affect the sustainability of green economy? Evidence from China. I'm Lifeng Chen, who is the first author of this study. First part is introduction, and in the background, China's economic growth has begun to slow down since the early 2010s, especially for the Trump's trade policy, had a greater impact on China's overall economy. In recent years, the knowledge economy area of big data is coming. However, there is a lack of evidence around the effect of economic and policy uncertainty on environment indicators. On the other hand, assessment amendments increase consider corporate social responsibility, which is CSR as a safeguard for minimizing the financial risk of their investment. And both green finance and environmental regulation aim at encouraging enterprise to carry out green innovation for promoting sustainability, such as Chen now demonstrate a policy positive but non-linear relationship between green credit and company R&D levels. And the green credit guidance (GCG) issued in 2020 was a landmark and the most critical policy in China that lists clear requirements for the bank's green credit. And in 2014, the key KPI of this policy was issued, which marked the beginning of the cumulative months used to evaluate green credit. Thus, GCG is the most critical policy on green finance in China. And green innovation is under the dwarf effect of environmental regulation and green finance, which refer to the innovation that can benefit the environment. We involve the product and the technology innovation from energy saving, pollution prevention, waste recycling, design for green products, environmental management, and so forth. So green innovation can be reflected in the innovation of resource enterprise and environmental enterprise. So we evaluate green innovation from these two dimensions of R&D input and output. This part is our contribution. Since the green innovation is the innovation of green firms, which is EIs, our major contribution lies in the combination of the DID model and the Haussmann test to evaluate the mitigating effect of green innovation using DID regulation in all enterprises and FE regulation for green enterprise. This methodology generates new ideas for related policy research, and it also creates a new research system for mitigating variables of panel data, providing grounds for sustainable further work in the research field of policy, finance, performance, and green innovation. Second contribution, this study is among the first ones to investigate green innovation and the ESG performance of green enterprise after the propulsion of GCG. Thirdly, our results reveal the GCG policy inhibit green innovation. However, it promoted the financial performance of green enterprise more than other enterprise. Further, we discussed how green enterprise promote ESG performance. Last one, the implication of our study could help the relevant government departments understand the microeconomic consequence of GCG policy. This thus improving and perfecting China's green credit policy. And we also provide suggestions for related regulators. So in the next part, green innovation. Next part is data and methodology. This study divided this company in mainland China into two groups, green companies and non-green, using a different DID model to explore how can green credit policy promotes ESG performance through green innovation and financial performance. We used the Asia manufacturing list firms from 2010 to 2019 as samples, extracting CSR score from Hexun database and financial data from CSMAR database. Samples were selected from 2010 because the CSR status of Hexun database began from 2010, and the financial crisis in 2008 led to data division in financial data around that year. So this is our ERE, which is Green Enterprise list. And in the calculation, we, according to the sustainable development theory, proposed in groundbreaking report Agenda 21, and it committed to attacking a more sustainable long-term economic growth. According to this theory, and according to Li et al., we imported the average standard energy consumption, which is SEC, as a quantitative indicator to assess the environmental performance of industry. And the calculation of SEC is shown below. The above is the total, the standard energy consumption, and below is GDP of the every industry. And moreover, based on the signal theory, Fogland and Shelley indicated that CSR could help improve corporate reputation and increase corporate value. In addition to that, according to the stakeholder theory, corporate social responsibility could be recognized as a powerful and even crucial factor in terms of social responsibility. Thus, to estimate the level of social responsibility, we manually collect 5 levels from 1 to 5, which is CSR level from Hexun database. And this is our variable definition. Include dependent, independent, mediating, and control variable. And this is the hypothesis for the DID model. Since the green innovation entails the heavy investment and the long-term activity, which emphasizes on protecting the environment, and the actual benefit cycle is relatively longer than other innovation. Meanwhile, financial institutions exhale habit relevant about investment in green innovation that may lack economic benefits. Hence, the response of the financial performance from green companies should be more sensitive in terms of GCG policy, which would affect the actual ESG indicators of these companies. Based on the analysis above, this study proposed the following opposite hypothesis. One, A and B is opposite, but same way. And in the FE regression, we make the hypothesis 4 and 5, and based on generally green innovation directly to the environmental performance and technological projects. This study also explored the interaction between green innovation and ESG performance, such as Yiwei et al. Combined machine learning techniques and an inferential model to find the existence of a positive relationship between ESG practice and financial performance. ROA is a perfect predicting predictor to evaluate the relationship. Based on these tools, we got to the following hypothesis, which is the financial performance and the green innovation, these two mediating variables. And here is our research model. This kind of research designing. We can see clearly, much clearly, based on this figure, like this mediating effect and the dependent and independent variable. The next part is our results. Here is the DID results, and the coefficient and the significant of this one is our major concerning. You can see in this line, L1 is significant, exclude this FIGR, implying the significance of green enterprise in comparison with other price after application of GCG policy. All the coefficients were significant except FIGR, indicating the fault of green credit policy to influence the fixed investment newly added to the industry. Since green finance policies aimed at guiding companies to promote investment in green R&D investment and environmental protection, it would not highly correlate with the fixed asset investment of green companies. So this insignificance is not so important. And in the next map model, our regression results of QDID is this different the coefficient is our major concerning. You can see exclude CSR, every is much similar like before, and the baseline row contain information on the mean outcome of each group as well as each group's single difference, and the same information is displayed for the follow-up period after the implementation of GCG. So both DID and QDID results indicate that the R&D input of green enterprise didn't achieve a significant improvement compared to that from in other industry during last 10 years. However, ROE and NL green enterprise was significantly higher than others. The coefficient of the different in QDID variable was significant except CSR, which means the value of CSR level was similar in contrast to treat units in the baseline and follow-up period at 0.5 quantity, same as the mediating. And in the FE test part, our results is also very robust. All coefficients of ESG performance on ROA and RDI. RDI is R&D input was significant except RDI on SEC. You can see in this line, and this is not significant. And both ROA and RDI had a significant positive effect on CSR at 1% level. Since the results of the DID test that GCG failed to promote investment in green innovation, we infer that the insignificance of green innovation on environmental indicators caused by the policy have not achieved the expected goal. Our NIR, our regression results also show that green innovation has a significant positive relationship with CSR level and NIR. And it also had a notable negative effect on FIGR and ALR. This implies the green innovation can increase the CSR and net profit of green enterprise, as well as reduce the fixed asset investment and liabilities. Additionally, the ROA of green enterprise have a significant negative effect on ALR and SEC, but a positive one with NIR, FIGR, and CSR level. The last part is robust test. We use the replacing variable by topping Q and R&D output, like I granted innovation and the results is also robust. And the FE part, we use the different kinds of robust test. Also use the replacing, use the topping Q and the I grant to replace the ROA and IDI. And the results is also robust. And our conclusion, this study results indicate that environmental indicators of green enterprise is better than others. Even if their CSR performs poorly, green enterprise will not favor investing in green innovation. This may be because particularly of the industry in which these green companies are located make it easier for them to obtain benefits from the green policies, or it's easier for them to obtain subsidies and loans, leading to GCG increasing the net income and ROA of this green enterprise. Companies must increase R&D and fixed asset investment to meet the policy target or secure cooperative subsidy and loans. Our results further show that both the R&D and ROA investment in the GCG policy of green enterprise have an intermediate effect on their ESG performance. And these results also provide policy inspiration for Chinese government to deepen the reform of green industry and promote green innovation. First, like green policies need to adjust the government lead allocation on scientific and technological resource, improving the market mechanism for green innovation. Government could also guide the market to determine the funds and projects for green innovation. Second, policymakers should further standardize the subsidy taxing and credit policies related to green innovation, strengthen the competition mechanism between green enterprise and others. Third, economic policy should increase the supervision of the resource allocation, thereby to establish a scientific evaluation system of innovation transformation. Our limitation due to the limitation of data available, and but this limitation could be surpassed by in the future. So this is our study. Thank you.